if those change, yeah. Also, injuries to
Are we-
two of our top players.
Are we ready? Okay. Is Joe on the chance? Okay,
Not yet, he's trying, but
okay. Okay, we'll call the Tuesday, February 20th, regular city council meeting to order. If you would all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Okay, please note that Councilmember Hall will be attending remotely from 1500 Masters Boulevard, Champions Gate, Florida. First item is to approve the amended agenda.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the amended agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next item is the consent agenda. If anyone has any questions, otherwise I will entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next item is open forum, public comment. This is an opportunity for anyone who has something they wish to address the council about that isn't on the agenda for tonight. If it's on the agenda, we'll give you time at that point in the meeting to do so. Is there anyone wishing to address the council? Seeing no one, we will close public comment. Next item on the agenda is Police Department Annual Presentation. Sergeant Szymanski.
Well, good evening.
Good
evening.
Yeah.
So we had a somewhat uneventful year in 2023, I guess, so that's a good thing in ways. Keep it short and sweet for you here. There we got pictures of our current staff. You'll see there's a couple coming soon there. We're in the process of hiring our administrative assistant, which hopefully be done here in the next month or two and get them started and trained in. And we also have Scott Williams, who's starting to fill our open officer vacancy. He'll be starting on March 4th here, which is coming up soon. So looking forward to that. And as you can see, there are two new squads that we've been waiting for a long time now are allegedly on their way here. I'll believe that when I see them, but hopefully they'll be here soon and we can get them outfitted and up and running to replace some of our old tired ones. Calls for 2023, there's a little over 2,500 of them. All the calls were received. There was 34 of them in person, whether they showed up here or flagged us down somewhere. 529 of them via telephone, 686 over the radio, which were either given out by dispatch or requested by another officer or something along those lines. 1,207 that officers observed on their own, mostly traffic related stuff like that. And 89 that were taken in various other ways. Types of calls, most common was traffic stops with 1,072, 905 warnings given out, 146 citations, 82 arrests that resulted from traffic stops. We assisted other agencies 292 times, 223 medical calls, 86 alarms, whether they be burglary type alarms or fire alarms, 64 property damage crashes, and 12 citations written for criminal offenses. Just kind of a summary of the arrests there. 82 of the 92 total were traffic related. 43 for alcohol related DWI, 6 for drug DWI, 15 for drug possession or sales, 15 warrant arrests, and then 6 for providing a false name. And then there was a handful of other ones mixed in there. Notable activity for the year, you can see Officer Rooney and Officer Thompson there participated in bowling over in Crosby with the kinship partners. So that was I think a good successful event with good turnout. There's several of the area departments from Southern Cass and Crow County there. Then we had the Cops and Cones event at Glenn's Ice Cream Parlor here in town. We had a good turnout for that. We had several officers from our department there and some from the sheriff's office as well. So we got a lot of kids out there for that and had a good turnout. Then we had our Freedom Days event in town. It was very busy, probably had record crowds with that. We didn't have any major issues and I think everyone had a good time. So we had good turnout there. We had Safety Town, which Amber put together. Officer Rooney and one of the officers from Brainerd PD participated in that. Then we've also had officers in the school, over at the elementary school, reading with kids. Just being visible, getting to know them, and hopefully setting an example that they can come see us when they need to and have a positive experience. And we got our new body cameras and squad cameras, everything up and running with that. So it's made things a lot easier gathering evidence with the apps on the phone. We take all our pictures, everything, upload them right to a cloud from there, and they're all available. So saving us some time and it's a lot more convenient. Then we also had the City of Lights here this last November. Just like the Freedom Days, a lot of people again, probably, I would say probably a record crowd for that one too. Again, everyone seemed to have a good time. We had no major issues with that one either. So everything seems to keep growing and I'm guessing it will in the future. That's about all I have for you. I don't know if you have any questions for me at all.
I just like to say, I saw that, there was a recreation of at the Cone at Glenn's. They did a recreation of the runaway.
Yep.
Which is, I thought that was really neat. So really, I thought that Luke did a great job on that. It was really nice, really nice. So nice work. On the Axon system, is there an annual update on that? Do we need to do for, like software and stuff, or does that just kind of as they do stuff? Is there?
Yeah, they just push it out online there, updates everything. So cool.
Great.
Thanks, Sergeant Pepper.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John? Why don't you let the younger staff use it?
Yeah, they might, they're more technically.
Can you hear me? Hey, that's
Yep.
better. I gave you guys an annual report. I printed it out for you. It's a little bit different than the slides. It's similar, but a little different. I just took the highlights. So you can read our mission statement on page 2. And I'm not going to read it to you. We'll just move forward. So here's our command staff, or what we have, myself, the chief, Joe Hall is the assistant chief, and we have 4 captains and 4 squads. Does it work? So here's our 26 members that we currently have enrolled. Top 10 responders are on the right. And there's a picture of us all sitting in front of one of our older engines. So as you can see, we go from 37 years of experience all the way down to 1. But I think we're well diversified. So when the top 3 fall off, hopefully they can add 3 more in and it'll just all keep flowing really nicely over there. EMS rescue calls was 399. I was trying to find that in your book, you'll see there, I think Nisswa had 292 of those. Alarm calls, we had 22, hazardous conditions, 14. Fires, we had 21, which 8 were structure fires this year. Car accidents, we had 25, 1 other call, and then a good intent call. So the good intent was they called and then we got canceled en route. So it averaged out to 3,053 volunteer hours this year for a total of 491 calls, which is 30% higher than we had in 21, 5% higher than we had last year. So as you see, we're going to have some difficult budget talks as we go forward because we're growing. There's no other way to say it. We're growing, calls are going up. We won't go through this because I just covered it in the last screen. It just breaks down everything there. It's in your slide presentation or your printout there. In January, you see in January, we're fairly busy. February really picks up for us, but March, April, we fall off. May, June, July, August through the end of the year. I mean, we're booming. I mean, it's a lot to ask from the guys to turn out that many calls every month. So we're making it happen. So here is the one that I wish I could see better. So Nisswa had, tell me how many Nisswa had, Josh. 282. Nisswa had 282, and then Lakeshore had 98, and Lake Edwards had 93. Then we had some mutual aid calls there, and Pelican had 1. That's how we came up with our calls for service of 491 calls. Training highlights this year. We did a lot this year. EMT, EMR refreshers, OSHA training, radio work, North Memorial variance training. That's a big one for us every year because they change their protocols, it seems like every year. So we have to be revariance trained for different things that we can do and we can't do. Chainsaw classes, electrical vehicle fires, which is becoming a real problem. It's been very interesting. Highway safety, hazardous environments, boat and water rescue. We helped with the search of our missing person this year with our boat. And that was a nice little run with it. And we've had a couple other rescue calls with it. One happened to be mutual aid out of our area. Roof ventilations, pump operations and water supply, driving operations in confined space and vehicle extrication. That's pretty much covers our year in training. But 1,451 hours were spent on training this year with the personnel. Community event and outreach. It's just like the police does. We do Safety Town. We do not go to the school and read to them. We go and do the fun things because firemen like fun things like dodgeball, pinball, stuff like that. So we do that once a year and we're getting ready to do that in March.
Ooh.
The annual ice fishing derby this year, we moved it to the community center due to lack of ice and it was very successful. So successful, I'm not sure that we're going back to the ice. I think we're going to keep it in town on the ground. A lot of people really liked it there. We've packed food over to outreach. We do a touch a truck thing at the fire hall. We have our open house at the fire hall, a haunted barn out at Zimmerman's, pinball elementary. That's a big thing for us. We love pancake breakfast, run for the lakes. And then we hosted the Lions in this year. They wanted to come out and see the equipment that they've helped us with over the years. So that was a nice event. So last year, our focuses, I came and stood in front of you a year ago and told you what I was going to try to get done. I've accomplished 100% of my goals over the year. And they're all in your, well, they're not in your packet. I didn't put it in there. So we did get a new truck. We'll see this here in a minute. Here's our new tender that we got this year. It's a 21 HME. We're really loving the truck. We've got it in service. Everybody's up to par to running the truck. It's been a good addition to our fire department. It's our biggest truck out there. It hauls 3,700 gallons. Got a pump on it. It's just well-rounded. Yes, sir.
If it was delivered in 2023, shouldn't it be a 2023?
No, No. So the story on this truck was we ordered a truck that we're looking at about two to 2.5 years out to get, and along came this demo. So we saved $25,000 and stepped back to a demo. So that's why it's a 21.
So you got your truck faster than the police department got their squad car.
Yes, we had our truck in 7 days. So it worked out, just happened to work out. Then we also, in 2009, we asked the DNR for any overruns of trucks from the DNR Forestry Division. Well, this year we got a phone call, and I've already stood in front of you and asked you about this. This is the green truck that we talked about. It showed up, they delivered this to us after I was at the council meeting like 3 days later, and this is our new grass truck. We haven't stickered it yet, but it'll soon be stickered. And then, no, the color is not changing. It's gonna stay that color. And then we also acquired a Ranger this year for these in-town events, because we've learned that getting our track machine around with 50,000 people in town just doesn't work. This happens to get around a little better for us, and it's working well. Just got to iron out some more kinks, and we'll be functioning really well with these big events. And we also purchased our Class A uniforms this year. So not only do I dress like this, so does our whole staff. And that was done with fundraising funds.
They look good.
So focus this year, recruitment and retention, and then investing in our future, providing leadership development opportunities and for the department members, and pursuing opportunities for a ladder truck to line up our capital improvement strategy. As you know, our community is growing. We believe it's growing. We're seeing it growing. And if we were to pull the pin on a $2 million ladder truck today, we wouldn't see it for 3 years anyway. So it's conversations that are coming, and I hope to be here next meeting to ask you guys for your approval to write for a grant to see if we can go down the grant path. But we'll cover that base when we come back. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Were there problems with the public interfering with training this year? Driving around and
So what we've done is, what I've done personally, this is where it all starts. They come in the exit in the front of our building where our trucks exit. When I'm at the fire hall, anybody that comes in and exit, I just kindly walk out back and remind them that this is an exit. And if they question it, we walk up front and we look at the exit sign. That's been a big help. We have had some training issues where they will drive through the grass to get to the recycling. Recycling is a very important thing to these people. But I think, what is it, March, April? May. This all is going to go away anyway. But we've just got to the point now where when we do training, we just put people out, watch. Somebody starts to come, they just step in front of the vehicle and stop them. And it's been working. We have asked for barricades when we do live fire training in the back, but we haven't had a terrible problem. So I'm hoping in May, all that clears itself up.
once the recycling goes, I assume it would be best if we move the oil container and the.
Isn't that all recycling? That all goes, right? I had it in my mind, it's all going.
Well, I do
Cans,
too, but
everything.
I think the oil part is, has to go through the county because they're the ones that put it there.
Okay.
And then they're the ones that maintain it, take care of it and stuff, so.
and
But
then
if you
little-
have, the question I'd have then is if you have one piece of recycling there, what's gonna keep them from dropping all their stuff on the
I
ground?
mean,
Yeah.
I can, I'll tell you this, I've already had a conversation with, Tom about it, and then we're gonna sit down with Jenny and see if we can't convince the county that there might be a better place for it.
Yeah. Yes,
See
I
what
agree.
they
I
want to
agree.
do. So,
So, any other questions? Thanks for having us. Oh, go ahead. You
No.
can, go ahead. It's all right.
Want to say thank you guys very much.
No, thank you
For
for
everything.
supporting us.
Appreciate.
It's a lot of volunteer hours.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
next item on the agenda is city administrator.
Thank you, Mayor Ron. Good evening, members of the council. I have a few items in your packet tonight that I would be happy to answer questions if you have any. Some updates on city projects, various legislative updates, which I'd like to just spend a few minutes talking about since the session did start. Some priorities for 2024, and then an update on the citywide projects document. So those items are in your packet for your information. What I wanted to do though is just spend a couple minutes because with the session beginning last week, wanted to give the council a little bit of a preview on what's coming forward as far as conversations with the legislature. So in the first week, just last week alone, the House and Senate each introduced between 400 and 500 bills. So they are off to the races with a lot of work happening. I shared with the council the legislative priorities for the league. I think many of which mirror the city's legislative priorities. Those lists from the list from the league is really statewide significant issues that they're tackling. But with respect to Nisswa, I believe that some of our significant priorities stem around local control,
Yes.
housing, employment issues, local sales taxes, and transportation funding. I just wanted to spend a couple of minutes talking about those things in light of the City Day on the Hill that's happening March 7th, that Mayor Ryan, Councilmember Zahn, and I are attending, which will be a good opportunity to speak to these issues with our representatives. With respect to transportation funding, I found out last week that the allotment that we were going to receive, or all cities were going to receive with the Small Cities Assistance Account, is not coming forward in 2024 and is being delayed until 2026. So there is a push to reinstate that money. Right now, the forecast is a budgetary imbalance is what they're referring to, which is essentially a deficit. And so they're trying to figure out how they can fill that gap to get back to a zero budget. And so that's one of the new funding options that they decided to hold it back and not. So we budgeted for that money in 2024. So we are going to have to adjust and figure out how we work through that in light of our road bond project coming up in a year or two. So that's a significant impact to us. The other big issue that will impact all cities is with respect to housing and local control. There was a House Housing Committee meeting today that is proposing legislation that would significantly limit our ability to regulate our zoning. Just as a highlight, the bills would require cities to accept between 2 and 10 dwelling units per lot, could be up to 150 feet high. Eliminates the ability for proposals to be considered by our elected officials, essentially eliminating the public hearing process with respect to planning and zoning, and just allowing these types of developments to be built by right without any local discretionary opportunities. So the bills don't take into account local factors like our infrastructure capacity, public safety, emergency responder access, and other public health and safety concerns, which is a problem for us. And so I think that that is something that we should be looking at being very direct in saying that we want to have our local control. We want to set our ordinances the way that it works for our community, and every community should have that opportunity to do that. So there was just a hearing today, nothing set in stone, but for us to move forward and continue to have these conversations at our day in the Hill. And then likely I would anticipate the council seeing some resolutions to support what we want to see as far as maintaining our ability to control our zoning, some of the funding challenges we're seeing, and some of those other items. So I just wanted to bring a couple of those items to your attention. If there are any other areas of focus that you would like to talk with me further on or have us present to our legislators, please let me know, and happy to facilitate that. So any
Let me
questions?
let you know now.
Sure.
You know, they had to talk about a sanctuary state, but yet they didn't have enough votes on that, but I think they're gonna try and do a backdoor on that. I mean, I would like, if they start proceeding with that we do something similar to that other cities and other states that are sanctuary states did, where they made ordinance that they are not a sanctuary city. So that's something that I think we need to look at. And if you can keep apprised of that, if they're going to try and push that legislation through.
Certainly, yes.
Only thing one thing like on the planning and zoning and some of the various things that are going through, there's a lot of them down there. But, I think that sometimes cities wait too long, to pass a resolution of what they want. And I think that we should be much more on top of it than some cities are. I think we should let them know that we want control of our own planning and zoning.
Yeah.
We want to decide what's built and how it's done here. And if they're gonna push this stuff on us, are they gonna buy us a ladder truck? Are they gonna, what are they gonna do? I mean, there's just, I think, and I know going down, I'm glad Jesse's coming with us this year, going down to the Day on the Hill and talking to these folks, right, face to face and from other cities. We're not alone. There's a lot of people that believe that. I mean, it's our community. The state should keep its hands off. So.
Happy to stand for any other questions. Otherwise, that's all I have. Thank you.
One on the water system, Jenny. Again, I know we've chatted about it in the past, about having a study done on the city's aquifer system. I think that's something that we should continue to explore to see if there's options to get a cost of the study, to see what the status is of our natural water reserve, underground water reserves, excuse me. That might be some good driving talking points for our pitch.
Mhm. Okay. City attorney,
No report from here tonight. Thank you.
city engineer.
Thank you.
Okay. Then we will move on to new business. Item number 1, 2024 chamber events. You've all got that in your packet. This is a list of what's coming up. And broke out pretty nicely. Kind of gives an idea of where, I'm reading the expenses on the bottom. That's what the chamber pays
Yes.
to put these
Yes.
events on and stuff. Okay.
I would just highlight that we will be bringing back for Freedom Days, a parade route map and event plan as they're looking at some new options to help to spread out the rather large crowd that we have been seeing, which is wonderful, but trying to maintain safety and other factors with the event itself. So we'll have something coming back to you in May. Otherwise, pretty standard and similar to prior years. This information has been shared with Pam, and we've worked through the details, and I don't think there's any concerns really on either side to get through that.
I would just say to all of us and to the public that I've never seen the chamber turn away volunteers that want to help at these events. So it's a good way to get out there, and honestly, you can have a good time doing it. So please feel free, if you're looking to be downtown anyway, maybe give the chamber a hand and volunteer for some of the items during these. Oh, thank you. Okay. So I'll entertain a motion. It says council motion. You want us to accept these?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the proposed 2024 Nisswa Chamber events as presented.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next item on the agenda is the J.C. Run for the Lake special event, permit application, temporary liquor license. Unless there's any questions about it, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the 2024 J.C.'s Run for the Lake special event permit application and temporary liquor license applications.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Opposed? Carried. 2024 mindfulness triathlon event. Unless there's questions, I would entertain a motion.
She's coming up.
Oh, she's coming up. Okay. I didn't see that. Sorry.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Any questions?
Where's the swimming going on for the triathlon?
No swimming.
No swimming on a
Yet,
triathlon.
although that gives me
So it's a
a
biathlon.
thought. So it's a run walk on the Paul Bunyan Trail, then yoga and mindfulness.
Oh.
So we've created our own triathlon, yeah. It's very community friendly, people can walk, all abilities, all athletic ages came together last year. It was really quite spectacular. It's good.
Is this all on the Paul Bunyan Trail?
It is. It's on the baseball field in Nisswa City Park,
Okay,
the outfield.
very good.
Any questions, anyone?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the 2024 mindfulness triathlon special event permit as presented.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Good luck.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Temporary liquor license for the J.C.'s Divine event at Grandview Lodge, April 13th. Unless there's questions, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we accept the temporary liquor license for the J.C.'s Divine event on April 13th, 2024.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Next item is the Brainerd Public Schools request for safe routes to school initiative. Jenny, you wanted to say something on this? Or not?
Oh, great. Yes, I will. Sorry. We've been working through technology with Councilmember Hall, so I believe
Oh.
he's online now, which is great. Yes, thank you. The city has been, we've had initial conversations with Nisswa Elementary and the Brainerd Public School System regarding some safe routes to schools funding. The conversations originated between the elementary principal, Molly Rasky, and our officer, Luke Hall, looking to make some improvements with respect to pedestrian safety, drop off, pickup time during the school year, just some of the challenges we're seeing with congestion, as I'm sure that many of you have experienced as you're driving through that area during either before school or after school. And from those initial conversations, a group of us got together just to sit down and really talk about what the ideas were, what the challenges are. And from that conversation, we determined that the appropriate first step would be to come to the city council and obtain your approval for us to work on an initiative with the Brainerd school system regarding potentially using safe routes to schools funding. We do have a representative here from the schools today as well, who has, I think, extensive experience in the safe routes to school funding that he could speak to some of the successes with that program if the council would like. But what we're looking to do is just to ensure that we're on the same page as far as spending some time engaging with the school and potentially bringing in WIDSETH to having some initial conversations on what that would look like. We did talk about the fact that this would probably connect well with our downtown master plan project that's upcoming and our upcoming road bond project as well. So we want to make sure that we're looking, short-term and long-term and making some good decisions in both respects. Reed, does that give a decent?
That's a really good overview of what we talked about. Good evening, council members and city staff. My name is Reed Teesey. I'm the Director of Buildings and Grounds for Brainerd Public Schools. I've been with the school district for about 4 years now, and we've been inundated with construction throughout our district. And Jenny, Miss Max did a really nice job of summarizing our conversations that we had here at City Hall about a month or so ago. Not sure your familiarity with the Minnesota Department of Transportation's Safe Routes to Schools projects. But primarily, the program was initiated, because of some studies that were done back years gone by. Back in around 1969, 1970, over half the children walked to school every day. 87% of those kids that lived within 1 mile walked to school. We don't see that trend today. The trending that we're seeing is that parents are dropping those kids off at those school sites, which results in higher traffic dangers around those elementary schools. And so part of Blueprint 181, which was our recent bond referendum where we made improvements to Nisswa Elementary, as well as every single other school throughout our school district here, was to focus on not only interior access to our facilities, but also ancillary spaces such as parking lots and spaces around the schools. So In 2015, the Brainerd School District partnered with Region 5, and we did a study for safe routes to schools around the Brainerd School District, which covers 500 square miles. That study was completed in 2015, 2016. In phase 1, we did improvements around Garfield and Lowell Elementary and North and Northeast Brainerd. Phase 2, we did a recent improvement on Oak Street in Brainerd, right in front of Harrison Elementary on County State Aid Highway or Highway 18 there that comes into town. And we are currently engaged with the city of Brainerd as well for the remainder of the Lowell project that was started back in 2016. So we've already worked with the city of Brainerd extensively. We've had conversations with the city of Baxter. And now I'm here in front of you today to have some initial conversations with the city of Nisswa about pedestrian safety around Nisswa Elementary. So happy to answer any questions you may have about the process. I know that the municipality, the local unit of government leads that charge because we do not have civil engineers on our staff. So we depend on those local units of government to apply for that grant, but we are a partner in that process with them. So.
Questions? No? Okay. I would entertain a motion unless there are no, if anyone has any questions, no questions. I think it, you know, I travel that every day on the way to work and it's, yes,
Mhm.
it is an issue. And, you know, I know parents are, you know, parking on both sides of the road trying to get the kids picked up and then you have the bus and stuff. So, there's better ways. I know that everyone might have their idea, but what's practical?
Yeah,
And
Mr.
so-
Mayor, sorry, Mr. Mayor, I was just gonna say that, you know, obviously we had many conversations with Administrator Max here on just how does that fit into your plan? And we would be open to
Yeah.
how does that fit with the master plan of what the city of Nisswa is looking to do?
Yeah, I think our public works director would have some, and they would have some great ideas too on how things can be better traveled, better, you know. Ideally, it would be great if everything was a right in and a right out.
Well, the good thing is that the downtown master plan concept is just that, it's a concept still, so. When we have these preliminary ideas or projects, they can be built around it, so.
Absolutely.
Thank you for doing this.
Absolutely.
I saw what was done at the Brainerd High School after the remodel and I think it's great.
Yeah.
I graduated from there a while back and it was cumbersome sometimes.
Yeah, access for students is important. And you know, that is our highest goal is student safety every single day besides
Mhm.
education.
Did you have to park in the pit?
Oh, yeah.
That's all right. The hole's fine. Okay, I will, entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the engagement with Brainerd Public School District regarding safe routes to school funding as presented.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Great. Public Works, request to purchase, truck lift. Is this replacing one or is this in addition to?
It's an addition.
New application for
Okay.
us.
Okay.
So we do quite a bit of maintenance that requires us to get up underneath the chassis of several vehicles, and so this would just simply be a lift that you would see in just about any mechanic garage. And it's built heavy enough to lift our 1-ton trucks.
I see it's a budgeted amount. We're kind of anticipating this and everything, so this is a formality. I'll make the motion that we approve the truck lift purchase as presented.
And I'll second that.
Any further discussion, questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
We have the same one. They're nice. Yep. 2 of them. Just make sure you have it in the lock position before you walk under it. That's what they told us before, when they walked out after they installed it for us. We're like, okay, thanks.
I'm sure it'll be a lot better than the floor jacks and things we've been.
Yeah. It's like, what are you talking about?
Item 7, a recommendation from Mayor and Public Works Committee reference Public Works Committee term renewals. Any questions or anything, anyone? Otherwise, I will entertain a motion.
I will so move. Approve recommendations to approve term limits for existing Public Works Committee members as presented.
And I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Recommendation from the Mayor and Parks Commission, reference Park Commission appointments. Any questions? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I
Aye.
so move that we recommend to appoint to Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission Blake Asbury as presented.
And I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Recommendation for the approval of updated earned sick and safe time, ESST policy as presented. Anyone have any questions, or do we all understand what's being done? Okay. Okay.
Fortunately, I do.
Is Joe on? Okay.
Yes, yep,
Do you have any questions, Joe?
Oh, oh,
No.
sorry. Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the updated earned sick and safe time policy as presented.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, old business, approved city administrator contract. Okay,
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the city administrator's contract as presented.
I'll second.
any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
opposed.
Carried. Oh, okay. Keep forgetting there's a delay. Sorry, Joe.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Council reports. Mayor, nothing. I have nothing at this time. Jesse?
I have nothing.
I have nothing.
Mark?
I have nothing.
Joe?
Nope.
Okay. There's announcements and upcoming work dates, et cetera, on the bottom of the agenda you can all see. So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Stand adjourned. Thank you all for coming.